I got it. Got it.
Why the fuck with me? Why the fuck with me?
So this is probably one of my top 3 favorite movies of all time. A friend recommended this to me a while back, and maybe about a year ago now. I checked it out, rented it, watched the whole thing, and I was just very surprised. It was like this, just at the end of it, I was like, this is an excellent movie. I mean, you have the acting, the writing, the cinematography, just everything. It just kind of culminated to an excellent movie. I mean, written, directed by Michael Mann. Just a very quality movie. Again, this is something that was made back when movies weren't built for short attention spans, where you could just go to the bathroom and do something and come back, and you would be able to understand everything that's going on, right? This movie is a longer, sort of drawn out movie, but not in like a wasting time way. Each scene is important. It feels important, right? This is a movie where you can just kind of put your phone down and kind of just let yourself get lost in this world. And it's just a great movie. Excited to, talk a little bit about it. But again, just excellent movie. The movie Heat, directed and written by Michael Mann, is about a group of elite professional thieves going back for one last heist while the LAPD attempts to track them down. Now, one of the things I love about this movie is just the overall feel of it, right? It doesn't feel like a traditional movie in the sense that you're feeling plot point, plot point, plot point, where it's sort of trying to push the story forward, This feels more like a novel where, we're sort of just like thrusted into the story, right? And the characters feel lived in. They feel like they've been here for years and years, like they had whole lives, and now we just happen to be seeing them at this moment in time forward, right? So that's one of the things I love about it. It's the characters, everyone, there's no real setup, exactly. We're just kind of introduced to people. We see them and we already kind of know them. They just are. And I think that's just something that is just a nice touch to it. It's a nice change in pace, right? As opposed to having a artificial setup, right? This just feels like they're lived in. They've been here before. We're just happen to be seeing them now, and we're following along their journey. Another thing that also stood out to me, right, was the main character, right, De Niro, right? Robert De Niro plays Neil in the movie, and the thing that stands out with him is how smart he is, right? He's not the traditional, somewhat smart leader of the group. He's very, very smart. You can see his thought processes in certain points in the movie, right? He doesn't do these typical tropes that the mastermind of the group does, right? He's very, very careful, and it makes it an interesting movie, right? Someone's actually smart, actually makes right decisions, right, that you would make as a person if you were in that situation. And I think that's just a nice touch to it. It's organic, it's real, and I think that's something that a lot of movies need. This one in particular, they gave him a real character. De Niro, he's very smart, intelligent, right? I mean, even at some points he starts to outsmart the LAPD.
You know what they're looking at? What?
Us. The LAPD. The police department. We just got made.
And it's not just a cliche, they're trying to, force the characters into a certain situation and manipulate the situation, as Stephen King would say when he's writing. It wasn't like that. It's more so, he's legitimately outsmarting them, and it makes sense and it's logical. And I think that adds to the believability of the story and really pushes it forward and makes everything just really to like an excellent level as far as the quality of the movie is concerned. So another thing that I think takes center stage in this movie is the acting and the writing. They kind of both kind of culminate together. I think you have Al Pacino as the lead, well, one of the leads, and you have Robert De Niro as on the opposite side, right? Both leads in that. And I think one of the things too is the dialogue is so well done that the actors' performances can really show through that, right? They're not just talking about strictly moving the plot forward. He went that way and all this stuff, right? It's a slower, there's a rhythm to the way people talk, right? It's again, it kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier, where it feels a lot more novelistic in that sense, which I think is good, right? Their conversations are nuanced, it's deep, right? There's maybe some monologues in there, but it's a deeper, slower, rhythmic type of conversation, right? That I think really lets the actress performance show, but also shows that you can have a good, crazy action movie that has excellent writing, that sounds good. There's a rhythm to it, right? It makes you think about it. It's believable, right? It's just something where even if a scene is longer, if it's 2 or 3 minute scene, it makes it so when I was watching it, I felt fine watching that whole scene of Al Pacino eating chicken in his empty house.
I'm sorry if the goddamn chicken got overcooked.
Or talking to somebody at a bar or something, right? Because the conversation is real and it really wraps you into it.
Don't let yourself get attached to anything you are not willing to walk out on in 30 seconds flat if you feel the heat around the corner.
And it just really shows you like the skill level that someone's going to have, especially for writing for film, and the actor's ability to really take those words and really make it show on screen and to really be expressive. So something else that really kind of pops up in this movie is the romance between obviously Neil and Eddie. It really kind of pops out of nowhere, sort of. I mean, he's doing his thing. He's not planning on getting with anybody, and then he meets this woman, and that kind of makes him a bit more vulnerable in the movie. So with this movie, right, you have the Eddie, right, Neil's love interest, right. You have all of the other characters and what they're going through, right? You have Al Pacino on the opposite end as the one of the LAPD detectives looking for everybody. You have all these things happening and culminating down to this final moment where you have this heist scene at the end. The whole plan that Neil's been putting together is finally here, and they're going to enact it, right? And that scene is just crazy. It's visceral. I mean, there's points where you just hear the gunshot, and people drop and going limp and moaning and going to the side, and it's just a wild, crazy scene. So again, all in all, this was a truly excellent, magnificent movie. Just from top to bottom. I mean, you have the casting, you have the acting, right? You have the writing, cinematography. Everything is just feels like it's carefully chosen for that specific scene. The dialogue isn't just McDonald's, right? This is we're at Chima Steakhouse right now, right? This isn't McDonald's dialogue. This is Chima Steakhouse dialogue. Overall, just a great movie. It's coming around at a little over 2 hours and 30 minutes, maybe longer. So I think you'll enjoy it. In my opinion, I don't think it's something you're not gonna be wishing you had 3 hours of your life back, right? I think it'll be the opposite. So again, recommend it. Hopefully you watch it. If you do, again, let me know in the comments what you think. Okay, but all in all, excellent movie. Top 3 of my favorite movies of all time.
Does anybody have any idea where the fuck these people are?